You know that feeling, right? It's the middle of the night, you're just lying there, and your mind is just racing. You're replaying conversations, you're stressing about tomorrow, you're stuck in this endless loop. It's like there's a storm raging inside your own head. Well, let's dive into this. Because what if I told you that there's a way to find calm? Not by trying to stop the storm, but by learning how to become its calm, quiet self.
Man, that just hits home, doesn't it? It perfectly captures that feeling of being trapped in a whirlwind of your own making. It's this quiet chaos that nobody else can hear, but for you, it is deafening. And it's exhausting. It completely robs us of our ability to just be present.
So, this is the big shift in perspective we're going to explore today. We're not going to try to fight our minds into submission. No. We're here to understand them, using some really powerful, ancient wisdom that you'll see is more relevant now than ever.
Okay, so to get started, let's talk about how we actually carry our thoughts. Because here's the thing, it's not the thought itself that's the problem. It's the weight we assign to it. And there's this classic Zen story that just illustrates this perfectly. The young man, like any of us would, he thinks it's a trick question, but pretty simple. He guesses, I don't know, a few ounces, maybe half a pound. But the master just smiles, because the real answer has absolutely nothing to do with its physical weight. And this is where it gets really interesting, because this connects directly to our worries. A passing thought, it's totally weightless. It comes, it goes, no big deal. But when we grab on to that same thought, when we analyze it and refuse to let go, it starts to become a real burden. And that right there, that is the crucial point. A single worry, if you hold on to it for long enough, can absolutely paralyze you. It drains your energy, it creates all this stress, and it stops you from living your life. The weight of that glass never, ever changed. The only thing that changed was how long you held on to it.
So the takeaway here is actually pretty simple, but it is so profound. To get rid of the weight, you just have to put the glass down. You have to let the thought go. The problem was never the thought. It's our attachment to it.
All right, so all we have to do is put the thought down. Sounds easy, right? Yeah. Anyone who's ever tried knows it is not that simple. The second you tell yourself, okay, stop thinking about that, what happens? It's all you can think about. And this brings us to this really fascinating paradox of control.
So this man is thrilled. He's like, wow, a secret mantra. This is going to solve everything. And the condition seems weird, but easy enough. He says, why would I think of a monkey? I never think about monkeys. So he goes home, all ready to find his inner peace. And of course, you know what happened. The very instruction not to think of a monkey was like a giant magnet for the thought. The more he tried to push it away, the stronger it bounced back, until his mind was just a total zoo, completely filled with monkeys.
And that just nails it. This is exactly why fighting your thoughts is always a losing battle. Trying to force your mind to be quiet is like trying to flatten the ripples in a pond by slapping them with your hand. You're just going to create more chaos.
Okay, so if we can't bully our thoughts into submission, what's the alternative? Well, the answer lies in this really fundamental shift in how we see ourselves in relation to our thoughts. Just think about that for a second. The sky itself. It's vast, it's open, and it's fundamentally peaceful. It's always there, right? Unchanging in its basic nature. It's the background for literally everything that happens. And the clouds, well, they just come and go. Some are light and fluffy, some are dark and stormy. But no matter how intense a storm cloud gets, it's always temporary. They're just visitors passing through the sky. They are not the sky itself. And this is the core insight. This is the game changer. We spend our whole lives mistakenly thinking we are the passing clouds, our thoughts, our emotions, our worries. But our true nature, who we really are, is the vast, calm awareness, the sky, that simply witnesses it all as it drifts by. So this practice is all about becoming the observer. Imagine you're just sitting peacefully on the bank of a river. And the leaves floating by on the water, those are your thoughts. You don't jump into the river to try and grab them or stop them. You just watch. You acknowledge them. Oh, there's a worry leaf. And then you just let them float on by. Now, becoming the observer is a really powerful idea. But let's be real. How do you actually do it, especially when that river of thoughts feels more like a raging torrent? We need an anchor, something to hold on to. And that anchor is the present moment.
Think about it. Overthinking really only lives in two places: the past, which we can't change, and the future, which doesn't even exist yet. The only place we have any real power is right here, right now. The present moment is our refuge from the storm.
And here's this really cool concept from Shaolin wisdom. Our mind, it's formless, right? It's always wandering off into the past or future. But our body has form. It's always physically in the present. So what connects the two? The breath. Your breath is the magical bridge. By focusing on your breath, you literally pull your wandering, formless mind back into your present physical body. It's the ultimate anchor.
So we have the big idea. We are the sky, not the clouds. And we have our anchor, the breath. Now let's put it all together into a practical toolkit. It's not about caging that monkey mind of ours, but more about gently training it to be just a little bit calmer.
Look, these aren't complicated rules. They're just simple, powerful practices. The moment you feel your mind spiraling, just bring your attention back to your breath. Inhale, exhale. Acknowledge what you can't control and give yourself permission to let it go. And instead of letting your mind jump all over the place, consciously place your attention on just one thing. And finally, simplify. The less clutter you have in your life, the less your mind has to chew on.
There's this beautiful final story about a student who is just terrified of crossing a flowing river. His mind is just filled with all his past mistakes and his fears about the future. He just wants the river to stop so he can cross safely.
But his master teaches him something profound. Peace isn't found by stopping the flow of life. You can't stop the river. It's found by being fully present and balanced in the boat, right there in the middle of the current. It's about arriving in the now.
And that's the question that brings it all home. Overthinking is constantly trying to pull us into the past or launch us into the future, making us feel like we're about to fall out of the boat. But that sense of peace, it's always available, right here, in this exact moment. The only question is, are you here to experience it?